What?
The New Edition Story, Part 2. Review.
Ooh, yeah. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and the bad times. You will always be there. Sunny days, everybody loves them, but baby, tell me, can you stand the rain? Can you stand it? My heart is heavy. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Chris O, here for another review of the New Edition Story Part 2. Now it starts off with Gary and Ralph talking with each other, and Ralph is very worried about leaving the guys out the group. Especially he's wondering why he's singing all these hits, why he's singing up all the backgrounds and blase. And he just wants room for his brothers, you know, to get in and make songs along with the crowd. Now as the story progresses, we see the down spiral which Bobby Brown is coming to with his ego and everything. But I didn't realize that Mike was such a G. So they was rehearsing and Bobby started talking junk about Michael singing. And it all transpired from there. When Mike was trying to get into the limo, nobody would let him into the limo. So the limo driver thought everybody was in the car, and Michael ended up getting his foot ran over. And all of a sudden, boom, like Bobby Brown gets up out of the sunroof and say, "Hey, stop acting like a little beep! Stop acting like a little beep!" And Mike just went off. He just spat in his face. Now, I don't care who you are. If you spit in my face, I'm tearing that tail up. I don't care who you are. So Bobby Brown jumped out of that rooftop, just like took him down like he was gone. So Michael almost killed Bobby. Now the New Edition mothers came into agreement with, hey, let's kick Mike out of the group. But at the end of the day, Bobby actually stood up for Mike, saying, hey, he didn't kill me, I'm still here, so why should he be left out of the group? So that was real cool. He actually took up for Mike. Another thing that was cool, Brooke is back. Brooke is back as the choreographer for the boys, and Gary just hired him, and Gary just had to let him know, like, hey, you're not the manager, you're just the choreographer. And Brooke had to let him know, like, yo, you think you know everything, but you don't know squat about these boys. You need my help. Blase, you know, when egos collide. Next is Bobby Brown's ego. After the rehearsal, Gary was talking about, hey, what are y'all doing with all these lasers and blase. And Bobby said, man, I gotta go. I got to meet my girl. So he ended up meeting this girl, and he ended up getting pulled over, and come to find out, he didn't have a license or whatever, so he pretty much went to jail. And Gary had to bail him out. And the girl that he was with, turns out she was pregnant. And everybody was wondering about their image and how, hey, how's it gonna look that we're like teenagers and we just got somebody pregnant. Then we come to find out after Bobby has his baby that Ralph secretly got his girl pregnant. But in a loss, it was so touching that his girl lost the baby. It was so sad. Here's what was funny. Them fools, this had me cracking up laughing. Them jokers was at a no drugs event. They was performing, you know, for those drug-free events, you know, to stop drugs and everything. And them fools are in the dressing room smoking weed. Them fools was in there smoking weed, and whoever came in, you know, they had to fan everything out. So it was funny to see them do that. It was like a little comedy humor. I was like, y'all are crazy. But then Johnny Gill came into the room, and you know, they had a little chit chat and everything about his little solo career, and it was real nice, real nice. it was pretty much putting a broad expectation on where the group is getting ready to go, especially when Johnny Gill is in the picture. After that show, everybody was looking for Bobby Brown. He is nowhere to be found. And all of a sudden, Gary finds him on the other side of the parking lot from the tour bus, and he's in there getting blown. He over there snorting crack, and girl in there just making his day. And Gary says, "You smoking crack now? You smoking crack?" And in the back of my mind, I was just geeking. I was just geeking there after he said, "You smoking crack?" He was like, so after that situation, the guys did one more show, and Mr. Telephone Man was it. Like, it was on point. Mr. Telephone Man, that was it. It was on point. What ended up happening was Bobby wanted more stage time, so he sat there and did a little bit of the song a cappella. And out of nowhere, when Mike turns on for the next song, Bobby said, "I'm leaving the group, I'm leaving the group." And he storms off stage. Then he comes back on stage, takes the microphone from one of the guys and starts to sing. And then that's where all hell broke loose. Like, they was fighting on the stage and blase. And man, this is where they voted Bobby out of the group. After Bobby got voted out of the group, all the mothers was talking to each other. The only person that couldn't get through was Bobby Brown's mom, and she was so pissed off. But you know, after the little talk that the mothers had, Bobby's mom went to Bobby's room, and he was in there like snorting crack, looking at New Edition do their thing. And then she said, "Hey, you got it." She told Bobby, said, "Hey, you got a visitor." Come to find out, it was their executive producer at MCA Records. And he said, "Hey, you can't break this contract, but what you can do, you can go solo." And by dog it, that is what he did. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, before Bobby got voted out of the group, they finally went platinum. Platinum plaque, boom, 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 boom. They finally went platinum. But they still wasn't making as much money that they was expected. So eventually, they was wondering why they weren't making this amount of money, especially with signing with Gary and the MCA label. So Mike sits there and figures this stuff out. He's sitting there figuring out the business side, and he looks at the vinyl and said, "Who is this Productions? I thought we was on the MCA Records." And it come to find out, Gary been making money off of these boys for the longest. So Mike sets up a meeting with Gary, and Mike had his lawyer and everything say, "Hey, you fired, Gary. You've been smooching off of us pretty much. You fired." He said, "Hey, I got ish to do. Some old gangster stuff." But here's where everything starts to transpire. When Mike, Ronnie, Ricky, and Ralph had their egos, and Ralph sat there, was showing the other guys that, "Hey, I might be going solo. I just want to know what y'all think." And they didn't like the fact that, "Hey, you going solo, you leaving the group." You know, of course not, because that's their lead singer. And then Ralph just flipped after they said, "Hey, we don't like this song." And this Ralph just flipped on him and said, "What about y'all? I've been doing all the daggone work. I've been singing my tail off and everything." It was so, man, it was like, oh man, like egos was colliding. It was like Clash of the Titans. And before Ralph was able to do this solo project, Gerald told him, said, "Hey, let's do one more album." And that was when Johnny Gill joined the group. And Ralph and Johnny had a sort of heart-to-heart to say, "Hey, they tried to replace me with Johnny, and they were just having a good man-to-man, heart-to-heart about where the group was going." And out of nowhere, mic drop, "Can't Stand the Rain." It came about. "Can't Stand the Rain." Oh, and it was just vibes was just going off of each other, and then Then afterwards, they shot their cover for the Home Again special, the Home Again album. And like always, that was being cool. They wanted to let people know that they're not little kids anymore, but they are men. They are grown men. So yeah, I'm digging how everything played out. We just got to see the final conclusion of the New Edition story, part 3, tonight at 9 on BET. If you want to check out my other video, there it is right there. And if you want to check out my other video, there it is right there. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, check out the New Edition story tonight at 9. It's your boy Chris O. Deuces.